welcome back here to Starfire Sports Stadium. It is the home for the boys lacrosse championship games. And right now we've got the 1A, 2A state championship, Liberty versus Vashon Island. I'm Perry Williams along with Steve Sawyer, and this is STSPN. Steve, we've seen some great lacrosse this afternoon, and we got another good championship game between these two teams.
So we have a little bit of a change with the 1A, 2A. You're going to see these teams, one being Vashon, hasn't been to the championship since 2005. Liberty, this is their very first time in the actual championship, and so you're probably going to see a little bit more nerves than you're used to. It's first thing the coach is going to tell them is, guys, you need to settle down. This is a big day. This is a big game. You got to run your game. And so with Vashon, what we're looking at is we're looking at a fast-paced offense, fast-paced lacrosse, very intense on the ground balls. They were the champions back in 2005, so they've won this before, but it's been a long time, and they have fantastic defense. With Liberty, you got Patton, one of the best face-off men in the game. Lots of scorers on their team. They have lots of people that can put the ball in the back of the net. They don't want to let the D get stretched out. Vashon's very good at stretching out D on the other team. And they have a very, very strong defense. They've only had 3 goals against them in the regular season, but in the playoffs, they've stretched that to 7. So they've been tested in the playoffs so far, but they've won every game, and now they're in the championship.
All right, we're ready for the opening face-off. It's going to be Jaden Patton for the Patriots against Finnegan McClure of Vashon Island, and Liberty's going to control that. Here comes Patton. He's going to hold on to it, and then he'll pass back over to Cade Hughes. Moving around the right alley and back to the X. And colors, Liberty is in the blue. Blue jerseys with dark gray numbers, and Vashon white jerseys with the dark numbers. And then moving around, there is Hughes. A little arcing shot, and it's going to be plucked out of the air by Mason Rice. So here comes the Vashon Wolverines in their first possession. And they do a long pass down the way, and that is going to be stolen away by Chance Hills. Ball on the ground. Liberty coming up with it, and ball hacked or checked away, and a long pass down the way going to Mitchell Nye. Nye passes it back to the X. Yuri Kakulis. Kakulis out on top. Gets it out to Kirk Molzinski. Molzinski getting pressured. Has nowhere to go with it. And now brings it into the crowd. Ball gets knocked loose. And coming up with it is Liberty's Hunter Jarvis. And Liberty now will go on the offense. Long pass by their goalie, Randy Haxton. Gets that one on to Hughes. Hughes on up to Patton. Over to Russell.
So, yeah, Perry, Liberty really wants to stretch out the defense of Vashon. They want to try to test Vashon early. They want to get them to slide and be late on their slide so they can see and get that opportunity for a quick pass to goal.
Liberty right now, just doing a good job passing the ball around the goal. Now bringing it forward is Russell. And he pulls it in, goes in, comes back out. They'll pass it around back to the X, which is behind the goal. Back out over to Patton. And Patton bringing it out top of the box. Back over to Hughes. Raid coming down. Pretty good raid here at Tukwila. There's a pass, gets loose. Ball bouncing around on the ground, and Vashon Island is going to come up with it. So Vashon quickly brings it downfield, but a loose pass is going to be picked up by the Wolverines. Brian Russell coming up with the loose ball.
And Perry, that's one of the things that both coaches were talking about, is that these teams needed to settle down. This is the championship. This is the last game of the season. all or nothing on this game, and they need to just settle down. They need to run their offenses, run their defenses, and so you're going to see some missed passes and some balls on the ground here at the beginning until they settle down.
We saw that in the first 2 games that we saw from all 4 teams. A little bit of maybe nerves taking effect.
One of the most difficult things as a coach to coach away is nerves in a player.
It's exciting playing in front of a big stadium, good crowd. Now, Liberty moving the ball around, and you got Hyatt. Hyatt passes back out over to Russell. Excuse me, that's Patton. Patton over to Hughes. Hughes takes it on the left alley. Looking to find somebody open. There's a loose pass. We were just talking about that, and it's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be Vashon ball. No team yet really having a solid shot on goal yet. No score. Now bringing it down for the Wolverines is going to be Joe Giglieri. And the ball gets knocked loose. And here come the Liberty Patriots again. They get on out over to Parsons. Parsons puts up a shot, and it's up and in. Right over the right corner of the shoulder of Mitchell Nye. And that is a 1-0 lead now by the Liberty Patriots.
Yeah, Perry Ryan just, does one spin, gets clearance from his defender, and is able to side rip and beat the goalie.
Taking advantage of a Vashon Island miscue and bad pass. Now we have a face-off. Patton for Liberty. And McClure for the Vashon Wolverines. And ball on the ground. Coming up with it. Well, nope, still on the ground.
Oh, he got a loose ball push.
And that's going to go against Liberty. So Vashon will bring the ball downfield in their possession. And McMillan right out midfield. He's waiting for somebody to check him. Patton looking, think he is shading him, giving him plenty of room.
So really Vashon's first setup, they want to calm down. Everybody's a little bit fired up right now. They want to get some good passes in, get the ball moving around, not try to push it too hard.
Kukulis gets it up to Molzinski. And out on the top, over to Brown. Brown looks to shoot and then changes his mind, gets it on over to McClure. McClure back to Brown. Brown with the fluorescent tennis shoes, or spikes. Go right-hand side over to Molzinski. Mozaleski. There we go. I knew there was an extra syllable I was leaving off somewhere along the way.
There's always is in those games.
I don't want to shortchange anybody. And here comes the Wolverines, and it's Rainey.
And he checked him, just threw it out of bounds behind the goal.
And another Vashon Island miscue. After that high-scoring 4A championship, where we were seeing goals coming aplenty, it's only a 1-0 game here. 5:57 left to go in the first period. Only 1 goal scored, and Liberty having that. Now Liberty bringing it downfield. A quick long pass down to the 20 and end up knocked loose. Nope, it is not. Coming away with it, it's going to be Corrington. It's over to number 8, and that is Jason Lapp. Give it on back over to Russell. Russell does a little shake and bake and tries to pass it across, and it goes out of bounds. But it's going to be Liberty ball. Give it over to Lapp. Lapp picks it up off the ground. Moving on over to Corrington. And rumbling, you hear is the train going by just behind the Vashon Island Wolverine goal. Liberty moving the ball around, getting around to that X spot behind the goal. Pass up the lap.
So, Perry, I like how patient Liberty is being. I'd like to see him start to pressure and put some guys in the center and try to run some keys off of them. But they are being very patient. It's nice to see.
There's Lap, puts up a shot, and assuming no, that's going to be Patton with a shot. That's going to be wide and goes out of bounds, and it'll be another Liberty possession. They seem to be very patient, just moving the ball around the goal of Vashon.
No, and it's a good thing to be, especially in a championship. The first time you're in a championship, you want to settle down. You don't want to try push things because the game can get out of hand real quick. You can score 3 goals with a snap of a finger. So you want to be very patient in the beginning.
Patton gets it over to Russell. Russell, it's a little bit of a screen. He's going to roll out to his right, way out in the alley into the corner. Now he's going to get some help from Hay. Now here comes Russell, a little bounce shot, and it's going to be in for a goal.
So big bouncer by Russell, just enough to get the top part of the net, just inside the top pipe. Fantastic position, beats the goalie.
And it's a 2-0 Liberty Patriot lead over the Vashon Island Wolverines.
Nothing number 3 goalie Mitchell Nye could do about that one.
That was just good patient ball control by Liberty. They passed it around until they finally saw an opening, and Russell putting it in. It's another face-off, 2-0. Vashon, I think, looking to really have a good possession here offensively if they can. They first, I guess, need the possession off this face-off.
Yeah, Perry, even when Vashon has gotten the ball down on offense, it's only been a couple times now so far. They haven't had a real good showing down there. A couple errant passes to end their possessions. They'd really like to get it down there, settle down, and set up their offense.
There's the face-off ball on the ground. Who's going to come up with it? And it is going to be Vashon Island's Dominic Nagel coming up with it. Nagel passes up, and it's going to be stolen away by Chance Hills. But Hills had it for a moment. It's knocked loose. And now we've got the ball knocking loose, and it's a scrum out there. Who's going to come up with it? And trying to come up with it is going to be Ryder Jones. And
it's good for a timeout, Barry. There was some garbage lacrosse going on there. Ball was just going out everywhere, so great timeout by the coach.
All right, we'll take a quick timeout here. It is Liberty 2, Vashon Island nothing. This is the 1A, 2A Boys Lacrosse Championship here on STSPN. Welcome back. Starfire Sports Stadium here in Tukwila, Washington. The rain's coming down, but it hasn't dampened the spirits of the fans here that have come out to watch some championship lacrosse. And we've got a good one going on right now. Liberty over Vashon Island 2-0 with 3:26 left to go in the first period. What does Vashon Island need to do here, Steve, to get back into this ballgame? They're now down by 2, but they look like they're a little bit discombobulated.
Well, first they need to get possession, and then when they're on possession, they need to settle down a little bit. Both possessions they've had so far on the offensive end have been kind of unsettled. They lost the ball on their own with some unforced errors. They'd really like to just get the ball, settle down, run the offense the way the coach has written it up, and just get those kind of championship jitters out.
So they'll have the possession. It'll be Yuri Kakulis passing it back over to McMillan. Calvin McMillan. McMillan gets it into the corner to Mitchell Nye. Nye puts on the Jets, and then he'll get it on over to Kakulis. Kakulis, big young man, trying to get it over to Mozeleski, and that pass goes wide and out of bounds.
Yeah, again, another unforced error for Vashon. That's the last thing that the coach wanted them to do to start this game.
So Vashon possession. Vashon's done a little bit better with the, matter of fact, quite a bit better on their offensive possessions, leading 2-0. And whoa, there's a hack, and flags flying, and
we're going to get a trip on that one, Perry.
And coming up with it is Vashon Island, but that was a shin bunker right there with that stick.
Yeah, and the way that it works in lacrosse is that there's continuation, and so the play will continue to go until the team that has caused the foul possesses the ball. So it gives the other team an opportunity to score.
So it'll be Liberty possession. And now Vashon Island will have a player down. They're already down by 2 goals. And they're going to have a penalty here and play with a guy short. And there is a shot, but wide of the goal. Hits the side of the net. And goalkeeper Mitchell Nye coming up with it. Mitchell does a little dodge away from the player, passes it downfield, gets it over to Rice. Rice bringing it downfield quickly for the Wolverines and loses possession of it. Goes right-hand side over to Kakulis. Kakulis. The spin move, takes a couple of shots, gets it around, but the ball gets knocked loose. Defender doing a good job of doing what you're supposed to. Keep checking till that ball pops loose, and that was Chance Hills on the defense for Liberty. So now Liberty quickly coming down, and they lose possession. For a moment, Liberty coming right back with it and getting up in front of it and putting up a shot. It goes wide or high over the goal, and it is going to be a Liberty possession.
And that was a great job by Mason Rice, number 26, on getting his stick on the hands of the shooter and making him forcing him to shoot high on that.
And now the ball gets knocked loose, but sent forward to Liberty. And person that has the ball is going to be Ryan Russell. Russell. Minute 7 left to go in this first period. 2-0 our score. Liberty on top. They'll get out over to Hughes. Hughes in the corner. Now gets it back to the X. Jaden Padden. Out over to Russell. Excuse me, that was number 8 back there in the X position. Jason Lapp in the. They get over number 9, Molina. Molina back out to Russell. Into the X. And ball gets knocked loose by a Vashon Island defender. And they're going to call penalty. It's going to be against Joe Giglieri.
So it looks like a loose ball push on that, Perry.
So that doesn't send anybody in the penalty box, but we'll give Liberty the possession. And now this is Padden. Padden trying to get it around, get it in the center. And it's there for a moment, but Vashon breaks it up, and now they come up with it. Brown bringing it downfield quickly. He may have an opportunity to shoot. He does, but it's just wide. Boy, he turned on the Jets. He was going for it. Paris Brown.
Yeah, but there was no one backing up from Vashon, so he missed the cage, and goalie gets the ball back.
If Vashon had had a player behind the goal, that shot their possession would have gone to Vashon. Is that correct?
Exactly.
All right, we have a timeout that's going to be the end of the first period. So at the end of one period of play, it is the Liberty Patriots 2, Vashon Island Wolverines nothing. This is the 1A, 2A Boys Lacrosse Championship game here on STSPN. Welcome back here at Starfire Sports Stadium. We go to the second period. It is the Liberty Patriots 2, and we were informed it is the Vashon Island Vultures nothing. We haven't confirmed that. We'll just call them Vashon Island.
Hey, Vashon guy.
Yeah, and I don't think it's Vashon Island. I think it's just Vashon High School, Vashon Vultures.
We'll find out. It is Vultures. Okay. We got it confirmed. Thank you. So here we go for the face-off to start the second period. This is the 1A, 2A Boys Lacrosse State Championship. So we go to period number 2.
So, Perry, that means it's time for Vashon to start being some vultures on the ground balls.
That's it. Ball pops loose. As you say that, it's going to be scooped up by the Patriots. And bringing it down quickly for the Patriots is going to be Lapp. He'll get it on over to Likes.
See, and that's the difference that I think you're seeing right now, Perry, with both of their offenses is Liberty is being, we got ball on the field.
That one went, there's a field behind us. And that was a bad shot there because it went over the stadium, hit the aluminum roof, up the slope of the roof, and into the field of here. I don't think I could have done any better when I was driving it, getting it that far off. Driving a golf ball that off far kilter, but Patriots will have the possession.
It's going to bounce right back.
And bounce shot, and right there into the
save by Mitchell Nye.
Raining here, and it's been raining since about 11:30 this morning. Field, though, it's a turf field. Here comes Vashon, the Vultures, set up.
But, Perry, what I was saying before is I like how Liberty is really settled on their offense, and they're being patient, and they're not trying to force anything, where Vashon looks to get settled, but then they seem to be forcing, and they're making unforced errors, or they're taking errant shots, and I'd really like to see them settle down and run their offense the way Coach has written it up for them.
Brown bringing it up in the X, takes a couple shots in the back, but no whistle. Now he sets up. And he's going to take a check to the head. Play on, says the referee. And he'll pass it on up over to Carmen. And a high pass, errant pass, still picked up by Kukulis. Kukulis passes it to the X position. Gavin Rainey right behind the goal. Rainey turning around, almost putting it into the net. Well, it does in the net, but it's on the side of the net. And now Liberty will take a possession, and this one, errant pass goes out of bounds.
Right through the hole in his stick and hits him in the face mask. It goes out of bounds.
So the Vultures will come down with it. Brown. Left-hand side over to Carmen.
So, Perry, that's 2 shots now into the side of the goal, and what that tells me is that they're not getting enough angle. They're trying to shoot with such a tight angle that they need to take 2, 3, 4 more steps to get a much better angle, get farther in front of the goal, so they're going to have a lot more goal to shoot at.
My next question is how much is that forced by Liberty's defense?
You know, I don't think it is. I think that they're getting the separation, but they're just not taking those extra steps.
Brown passes over to Mozaleski. Mozaleski right in front of the crease. Trying to do a little left and right dodge, and now he's going to kick it out, pick it up, reset. And we'll go right inside to Carmen. Carmen trying to put a little shake and bake on it and puts up, looked like it'll be a pass, but ended up go right into the goalie's stick, Randy Haxton. And Haxton will pass it down all the way down to Lapp. Lapp quickly bringing it downfield for Liberty. No goal attained, but that was the longest offensive possession I think we've seen.
Yeah, it was a little bit nicer to see them settle it down and to run their offense.
Comes Liberty now.
I think
Move it out.
Haxton is lucky on that one because sometimes those just squeak past the goalie because it's hard to see when they get screened like that and they're not expecting it. So, good bounce.
We've got a big battle going on right now between Giglieri and Hughes, and Liberty coming up with it. Hughes has it in the corner. Takes it behind the goal. He's going to pass it on up over to Lapp. Now Liberty will reset.
I think that's number 9, Molina, now on the field.
Okay. So Russell has it. And boy, he slipped and ball came out.
You know, you just talk about the turf field not being slippery, and you see these guys slipping a couple different times. So I don't know if that's a field thing or if that's he just fell, but as soon as he put his stick on the ground, ball came out.
Brown bring it out. He puts up a shot, but it's going to be wide of the goal. And again, I don't know if anybody was behind the goal for Vashon, so it might be Liberty ball.
Yeah, and because the goalie is at goal line extended, and if there's no player behind goal line extended, then it goes to the goalie.
Nye coming way out of his goal crease. Long pass downfield. And he gets it down over to Somerville. Bounce pass, trying to find Patton, but Vashon comes up with it. They bring it downfield, and quickly bringing it down is Nagel. Nagel. It's a little dodge on, but nope, it's going to be checked out of his stick. Coming up with it, it's going to be Carmen, Jake Carmen. Carmen, back over to Brown. Now Brown's going to hold on to it. 6 minutes left to go in this first half. 2-0 our score. Liberty leading Vashon Island. Vashon bringing it down, and Brown's going to dish off. Go ahead.
So Brown definitely their leading scorer and their leading assist man on the year. He's got 47 goals coming into this game, 32 assists, and he's got 52 ground balls, so he's one of their most active players on the team. So you'd expect the offense to start through Brown every time.
And there was a push by Vashon McMillan, and it gets checked away, and now Vashon comes back and steals it right back. And they'll go back out on the offensive end, and just like that, it goes the other direction, and Vashon has it. Oh, big collision midfield. Joe Giglieri ran over a Patriot. No whistle. And now, here come the Vultures. Vultures getting on up. Kukulis trying to do a little spin dodge and shot. And
looks like he went through the car wash on that one.
And now we've got whistle blowing, and I don't know what. Liberty's going to call a timeout. So 4:51 left to go in this first half. It is the Liberty Patriots 2, the Vashon Island Vultures nothing. This is 1A, 2A state championship lacrosse here on STSPN. Back after the timeout. 4:51 left to go in the first half. Liberty leads 2-0 over Vashon Island Vultures. And been a low-scoring game so far. And it'll be Liberty possession. Jaden Patton will have it on the right alley. Gets it on out over to Parsons. Parsons to Lapp. Lapp doing a little head dodge. Then passes it behind. And gets that out to Patton again. Excuse me, no, that's number 3. That is going to be Likes. No, 9, excuse me. I'm sorry, my eyesight's getting bad. Andy Molina. Sorry, Mom, Dad. Watching this one. Here comes the Liberty Patriots. Passing it back in the X. We got to Patton on the left wing. Puts a shot up. It's going to be high, and it's going to be Liberty possession. The Vashon Island defense stiffened up a little bit, Steve?
No, I just think Liberty is still doing what they want to do, but they're just taking shots that they don't need to take. I mean, I would like to have seen him set his feet a little bit more and get more of a base, and then he can really generate some power. And they're just trying to take some ill-advised shots. I mean, they're settled down. They're doing what they're supposed to do, but then they need to look for a good shot.
Lapp is going to pass it, but there's a penalty.
So we got a legal procedure on Liberty.
So it's going to be Vashon possession. Now, Vashon, that's 3 minutes and 40 seconds. I'd like nothing more to get at least one goal on the board before half. Bringing it down is McClure. McClure gets it over the midway point. Battling. Does a little spin move, gets around second defender. Takes a couple of checks on the wrists and hands. Still holds on to it, and it'll pass it on off over to Brown. 3:13. Vashon doesn't look to be in a hurry to get this one in. They still got a little bit of time here and a half. Brown taking it down the left alley. He's going to pass it over to Jones. Jones back around to Kukulis. And Liberty takes advantage of a errant pass. And now they come back on their defense or offensive possession. And they quickly move it down, and they got it into Lapp. Lapp almost had an opportunity there.
Molina,
excuse me. I'm going to say Molina's got the green helmet. Molina bringing it out. We'll pass it at 8 and a 3 and the 9. All look the same to me from up here. So now there, quick pass to Molina. Molina passes out, and they get that one over to Parsons, who rockets a shot in, but Mitchell Nye right there to pluck it out of the air for the Vultures. Here comes Vashon Island, and bad pass there. Gets loose, picked up by Parsons for Liberty. Goes right hand side to Molina. Back out to Lapp, who shoots, and this one off Nye. That's going to leave a bruise.
Nye has seen it every way, and what they're doing is they're just taking passes with no screens, or I mean taking shots with no screens, and they're letting the goalie see it the whole way in. So, you know, Nye's making great saves, but Nye can also see that the whole way in.
And that was good opportunity there for Vashon. Almost had a little fast break opportunity, but a pass across in front of the crease, and nobody home for Vashon. It goes out of bounds. It's going to be Liberty possession with 1:24 left to go in the half. Sky lightening up. The rain hasn't really slowed down any, but that's kind of a good news. Started this game was starting to look dark and dreary, like we may have some lightning, but right now not a problem. Bringing it down, Russell. He's going to hold on to it with 1:05 left to go in this first half. Are they going to work for last shot?
Yeah, they have 1 minute left. They're going to definitely work for the last shot. They don't want Vashon to come down and get a real quick score right before half.
Russell takes it into the corner. He's not in a hurry to go anywhere with it unless somebody comes out and checks him. Now he brings it in. Does a little left to right dodge and puts a shot up, and it's going to go out of bounds. And it's still going to be Liberty possession. 37 seconds left to go in the half. Bring it out. Riley. Little spin move. And officials see something they don't like. We're going to have a timeout. That's why they're going to take a break with 25 seconds left to go in the half. We will take a quick break. This is 1A, 2A State Championship Lacrosse right here on STSPN. And welcome back. 25 seconds left to go. Make it 26 seconds left to go in the half. Liberty, they'd like one more goal to go in the half and play a little add-on here.
Liberty possession, number 21, K2.
Liberty leading 2-0. And they have possession. Liberty in blue. And with the ball going in motion is Ryan Parsons. He goes behind the goal. Brown covering him. Parsons coming around, crosses it up, and good save that time by the Vultures. That was a shot that, I don't know, did it go right into the defensive men's stick, Steve?
Yeah, it looks like Molina was taking a shot, but the defender got a stick on it, and he was able to change the flight of the ball, never even hit the goalie.
So that is going to do it for the first half. It is the Liberty Patriots 2, Vashon Island nothing. We'll be back for the second half after about a little shy of a 10-minute break. This is 1A, 2A Boys Lacrosse State Championship right here on STSPN. Starfire Sports Stadium here in Tukwila. The rain, hey, it stopped. We have the 1A, 2A Boys Lacrosse State Championship. It is the Liberty Patriots and the Vashon Island Vultures. Liberty leading 2-0. I'm Perry Williams along with Steve Sawyer. And Steve, what do you expect out of the second half?
Well, it's more of what I hope for than what I expect. I hope for a little bit more action. I hope for a little bit more intensity on the ground balls. And I'd like to see them get into their sets. I really haven't seen them, other than settling down on offense, really run any of their offensive sets that I talked to the coaches about so far.
I would guess that both teams playing with a little bit of jitters here. Maybe not up to their normal skill.
And you got a legal procedure on Jaden Patton there.
So it will be Vashon possession. And they come down, and McClure passes over right-hand side to Brown. Excuse me. Yeah. Paris Brown. He's midfield directing traffic. Now here he comes. Little zig and zag. Holds up. Trying to pass into the center, trying to find number 12, but big number 15 for Liberty, Hunter Jarvis, knocks it loose, and it's Liberty possession. Dangerous pass back to the goalie. We've seen that goalie, once he gets out of his crease, he's fair game. He can be hit. Here comes the Patriots. And they may have a little fast break going on here. And that, they bring it back out to Jaden Patton.
So Perry, on that one, we had two passes to Mozaleski that he just missed, so we might be having some problem with low light at this point. So
Molina, the back next position behind the goal, passes it on up, out over to 21, which is Hughes. I was going to say 24, but nope, it's a 1 there. Now bringing it down for Liberty is Russell. Russell already scored one of the 2 goals, and it's going to be knocked loose. Coming up with it is going to be Timothy Luke for Vashon. He gets it over midfield. It's a little dodge, and now gets it on out over to Nye. Nye passes it on out over to Mozaleski. Mozaleski trying to get it inside, and almost. I don't know if he tried to backhand that towards the goal, but the ball gets loose, and Patriots come up with it. And again, Hunter Jarvis coming up with the move, or loses the ball for a second, but good defense by Jarvis.
yeah, see Perry, and that's just Vashon trying to do too much with the ball. He's getting double teamed and triple teamed. That's when you need to find the open man and get easy pass, easy shot, easy score. They're just trying to do too much with one person.
So Liberty comes on the attack again. It's going to be Ryan Russell. Get it on out over to Hughes. Over to Patton, back to Hughes. You can hear that train in the background. Liberty moving the ball around. They get it into McClure, or excuse me, Molina. Molina. Back out to Hughes. Patriots just patient with the possession so far. Ball gets knocked loose. Stick gets knocked loose from Russell. And a little pushing and shoving. And I'm not sure who's going to be against Vashon. It'll be Patriot possession.
Yeah, that was a loose ball hold. So basically what you're doing is you're impeding the player with a loose ball from being able to get back into the play. So it's a loose ball hold.
Pat now has it. Goes right-hand side. And bringing it around is Hyatt. Excuse me, number 17, excuse me, that is Riley. Ball knocked loose out in front. And Hyatt coming away with it. Pass up to Hughes and to Patton. Patton shoots a rocket, but it's high.
Very great ball movement on that time, but they just missed the cage. Patton needs to put a little bit better ball on cage when he gets an opportunity like that, but great to see fantastic ball movement from Liberty on that one.
Hughes behind the goal. Coming around, gets it knocked loose. Ball pouncing around, but right there to come up with it, it's going to be Mitchell Nye. Neither team is really litting it up offensively. Now here comes Vashon Island. Kakulis. Yuri Kakulis. Trying to bring it downfield. Now he'll change directions. Pass on up over to Brown. Brown. Looking for direct traffic. Brings it up the left alley.
So Brown is the one that they want the ball, the ball in his stick, because he's the one that starts their offense. He's their highest scorer.
Brown brings around in front, puts up a shot open. It's going to be off a Liberty defender. And coming up with it again is Hunter Jarvis. Mr. Jarvis having a good game defensively for the Patriots. Ball knocked loose again, but this time Patriots come up with it. Long pass downfield. This could turn into something. They give it on out. Now they're going to hold on to it. They'll get on up over to Jonah Wolney.
So Liberty showing good
lap.
Good patience. Liberty showing on that time to pull the ball back out, not to push something and not to try to force something that's not there.
Here comes Lap, does a little shuffle step, puts a shot up off the goalpost and bounces out. Brown coming up with it for the Vashon Island Vultures. He's going to send a long pass downfield, and it connects. Gets that over to Rice. Rice looking to bring it downfield, and what are we going to have? A whistle, and they stop play. And that'd be an off.
It looks like an illegal substitution in the box. So then it changes possession, goes back to Liberty.
Boy, Vashon is just having a hard time trying to get in gear. It just seems that they're, when they do something right, take 2 steps forward, they're taking 1 step back. Now here comes Liberty. Andy Molina behind the goal. Gets it on up to Lap. Over to Russell. On out to Riley. Riley. Zig and zag. Dodge, and ball gets knocked loose, checked away, and on the ground.
Good check by Flynn McClure.
And now Liberty, though, comes up with the ball on the ground. They come down with it. Here comes Lap. Lap's going to hold it up. Just under 5 minutes left to go in the third period. Lap makes a run. Gets it out over to Molina. Molina in the back of the net in the X spot. Gets pushed out of bounds. Tries to pass it up into the center. And a Patriot wins the foot race to get there.
So great job on that, tiptoeing the sideline, but able to throw the ball in before he gets pushed out of bounds.
Ethan Likes now behind in the X spot. Passes it on up. And battling for it is Patton. Patton gets it over to Likes. And what a rocket of a shot. A great save by Nye. As Molina just rocketed that in there, and Nye picks it up. He's going to come way out of the goal. And
Nye's a very active goalie.
And that's dangerous. Here coming down is going to be Carmen. Carmen looking to take a shot. No, ball gets loose. Ball strolling loose. Who's going to come up with it? And ball looks like it's almost a soccer game with both teams kicking it various directions. Let's see where it goes. And finally, we're going to have a penalty, and this is going to go against Liberty.
It's offsides on Liberty.
in offsides and lacrosse is?
When there's more than 6 players on one side of the field.
There we go. I was going to say that.
And Perry, I guarantee you on that last play when they were coming down that was going to be an automatic score by number 3 if defender did not get his stick up in the air and interrupt that pass, because it was 2-on-1, perfect pass, but the defender was able to get his stick up in the passing lane and knock it down.
So here comes the Vashon Island Vultures, and ball knocked loose. And coming up with it is going to be the Patriots, and that's going to be Lap trying to get over to Patton. Patton bringing it down. He gets a check into the shoulder. He's going to hold it up. Liberty just seems to be very patient on offense, don't they?
Yeah, very patient. They're much more settled. I'm surprised. It's their first time in the championship, so they're showing some very good, mature offense right now.
So here comes Liberty, and coming in the ball game, Parsons. I think Parsons has one of the 2 goals, doesn't he? If I remember right.
I believe
for
so.
Liberty. Parsons has it. Front of the crease. Puts up a shot. It's going to be wide and out of bounds.
Liberty shot goes wide.
Should be Liberty possession.
Oh, I'm surprised on that one. I thought the goalie beat him to the end line.
So Molina passing it out, and then they bring it all the way out back to Parsons. Parsons brings down the right alley. Gives it out to Likes. Likes gets a stick in the abdomen and pushed out of bounds. And it's going to be Vashon ball. Boy, he takes a stick in the abdomen and then a shove to the outside, and that's going to be that's lacrosse.
Yeah, whether the ball goes out of bounds or the player goes out of bounds with the ball, it's out of bounds.
Now here comes the Vashon. Kakulis looking to get hot for Vashon. And good shots on goal. I'm sure Liberty way ahead in that. Bringing it down for Vashon is going to be Molzaleski. Molzaleski trying to pass it out in front of the crease, but the ball gets loose. And it is loose and scooped up. And scooped up by 18, Joe Barnes.
Good job by the defender kicking it back to his offensive line.
And it's going to be Vashon possession. Brown sets it back up. He's going to set up the offense, calls the play. Running in, a little zig and zag. He's picked up. Now reverses course. Big and back and forth, and he puts a shot up in between the legs of the Liberty's goalkeeper, Randy Haxton, and Vashon's on the board. 2-1 our score.
So Vashon's #1 scorer, it was only a matter of time before he was going to get on the board. He was able to beat Haxton 5-hole. Finally put Vashon on the board and make this a game.
45 seconds left to go in the third period. And it'll be a Vashon. That woke up the Vashon crowd. You can hear them. They're right in front of us. Beautiful facilities here at the Starfire Sports Stadium. Here goes the face-off. The Patton and McClure. McClure for Vashon. Patton for Liberty. And Patton comes, well, hadn't won it, but McClure got the ball on the ground. And then we get a little pushing and shoving. And I think Vashon's going to call a timeout. We'll take a quick break. It is Liberty 2, Vashon Island 1. This is the 1A, 2A state boys, or the boys state championship here on STSPN. welcome back. Starfire Sports Stadium, 37 seconds left to go in the third period. 2-1 our score. And this is just the opposite of what we saw in the 4A championship with Eastlake and who am I? I'm having a
Skyline.
Skyline, yeah. Where it was.
Yeah, Perry, this is about a little bit less scoring than the last game. Just a tiny bit less.
That one ended up being a 13-12 game. Vashon looking to come up with another opportunity here, but Patriots come up with it, but they pass it out of bounds. So 15 seconds left to go in this period, and that's enough time to run a play and get a shot off, isn't it, Steve?
Yeah, definitely, and Coach would love it if they could get a goal right before the next quarter.
Here comes Brown for the Vultures. Brings it up top of the crease. Puts a shot up, it's up and good. We're all tied up 2 apiece.
And there it is, Brown, their number 1 player, their number 1 scorer, their number 1 ground balls, number 1 in assists. Again, putting his team on the shoulders and getting the game tied up.
It's all tied up. We got 1 second left to go on the clock. So this is going to be enough time, I think, for McClure and Patton to say howdy right at this face-off before they blow the whistle in the end of the period. Don't go anywhere, though. We'll have to take a quick break at the end of the period. Here we go. And there we go. We're all done. After 3 periods of play in the 1A, 2A Boys Lacrosse State Championship, it is the Liberty Patriots 2, the Vashon Island Vultures 2, right here on STSPN. Ball game. Vashon Island 2, Liberty 2. This is the 1A, 2A Lacrosse Boys State Championship. And Steve, a low scoring game. If you liked offense, it was the game before this, but this team is where it's defense and looked pretty even, and right now it is tied.
Yeah, and Vashon Vultures head coach Michael McMillan is happy to see their number 1 player, Ryan Brown, taking on his shoulders and tie the game up at 2. And we'll see what Coach Ryan Kelly for the Liberty Patriots is going to write up so he can try to equal those 2 goals and go back ahead.
Looks like Vashon maybe settled down a little bit offensively. Their possessions, that last half of that third period, seemed like they were a little more controlled, weren't they?
Yeah, it only took them about 2.5 quarters to get it figured out, but I think they finally got it figured out, and I think they're playing their kind of game now.
All right, there's the face-off. Little push me, shove you, no whistles. And the possession goes to the Patriots. And Patton will have it. Go out right on over to Hughes. Hughes brings it up to the right-hand side. He'll cross it back over to Patton. And then they move it around to Parsons. Parsons to Patton. Moving the ball around. Looking for that opening. Hughes bringing it down the right alley now. He's got Molina in the X now. He breaks out of that, and Patton will come back behind the goal. That's got to put a lot of pressure on that goalie. You get behind in that X position behind the goal. There's a pass that goes wide, but right there to pick it up is the Patriots. Parsons.
That forces your goalie to have a head on the swivel just like the defenders, and so he's having to have to pay attention to where the ball is and where the off ball or all the off ball action that's going on behind him too. But really the goalie's focused on the ball. That's all he's looking for.
Here comes Patton, chases in, and he puts in a shot, but it is going to be blocked by Mitchell Nye. Ball bouncing around loose. Who's going to come up with it? And it's going to be Vashon Island.
Great job of Mitchell Nye playing tight on the pipe. Poor angle on the shot. Mitchell Nye was right there to cover.
Gavin Rainey getting that defensive check. And now we've got
a slash.
And that is going to be, and oh, there's a goal by Vashon. They go up 3-0. And that was a goal by Yuri Kakulas. I was looking at the flag and the penalty, but again, in lacrosse, you play on.
So that was a great job. They didn't slow down. They get a slash, but it's play on, and they find Yuri Kakulas on the far side, getting the goalie moving across the cage, finds open net, finds the back of the net.
And now it's a 3-2 ball game. Vashon Island Vultures scoring 3 unanswered goals here in this second half. Take a goal lead. Don't go anywhere. This is turning out to be a good ball game. Here the Vashon fans are, if they weren't awake before that last goal, they are now. So ready for the face-off, McClure and Patton. Now the officials are having a discussion. I think is that not slashing penalty? And yes, they're going to say that Max Hay is going to have to spend some time, I think, in the penalty box, isn't he? Or no, is he coming out? Penalty box. So is Liberty now going to be a man down?
Yep.
They're going to be a man down. And, boy, that's just adding insult to injury on that. So here's the face-off, and this is going to be an important face-off for Liberty. If they can get control of this, they can maybe eat up this penalty box time. And Patton almost had it, gets tied up with McClure, and Vashon Island comes up with it. They'll give it off to Brown. Brown bring it out on the left-hand side. Vashon playing with a man down. Not sure how long the penalty was. I didn't hear that, Steve. Did you?
So it looks like it would be a 1 minute, but he must have called it unreleasable because otherwise they wouldn't have kept the penalty because they did score. But nonetheless, Liberty is weighing down.
And now here comes Vashon. Long arcing shot.
And blasted that off of the defender.
And Vashon controls it. And they pass it back on up. Getting out there is Molzleski. And there's a ball bouncing around. Another, I don't know if that was a pass or a shot, but going back down to Jake Carmen.
I mean, great job, Molzleski, holding onto that ball. He's whirling dervish up there on the top.
Carmen to Molzleski, who puts another shot up into the goalie's net. And Randy Haxton coming up with the save. And that ate up the penalty period. And here comes Liberty. Molina down in the corner. Gets checked by Brown. And ball gets knocked loose and a long pass downfield. And going out to trying to find Yuri Kakulas, who comes up with it. Kakulas getting out over to Links, and it's up and good. Excuse me, Jake Carmen, number 2. And that was, just looked like Liberty was slow getting back on defense. And they found number 2, Jake Carmen, right in front of the crease, and he just planted it, didn't he?
Yeah, Liberty doesn't seem to have an answer for them right now. That's 4 unanswered goals by Vashon. Vashon was down 2-0 almost the entire game. And now all of a sudden they just come busting out the end of the third quarter, beginning of the fourth quarter, and score 4 straight goals.
Number 7, Finnegan McClure from Liberty. Number 0, James Patton.
And now it's a 2-goal lead for the Vashon Island Vultures. Patton and McClure facing off. And legal procedure. Possession goes to Vashon. So, boy, when it rains, it pours. Just here comes McClure, taking a couple checks. Slash. McClure just pressing on that Patton, who quite a bit smaller than McClure.
Yeah, Finnegan McClure is just soaking up those
Oh.
checks, but not there.
McClure runs into Katie Hughes, and that was just a good check. Knocked him right on his keister.
Hughes says, hello, I'm right here.
There come the Patriots. And Patriots
Oh, offsides.
offsides. Ooh. Boy, it's mistakes like that. You get down 7:51.
Oh, wait,
Still
no.
plenty of time.
Timeout.
Timeout. Okay, so we're going to have a call a timeout. We'll take a break. Vashon Island, Vultures 4, Liberty Patriots 2. This is the 1A, 2A Boys State Lacrosse Championship here on STSPN.
So there was offsides, and then they called the timeout.
And welcome back. 4-2 our score. Vashon down 2-0 beginning of the second half. They've scored 4 unanswered goals to take a 2-goal lead. And they bring it down.
So coming out of that timeout, there was an offsides called right before that, so Liberty was offsides before the timeout.
Here comes the Vultures. Rice has it checked from him and then gets it over to Mozalescu, gets it checked away. And ball goes right to midfield. Patriots trying to get control of it. Ball still rolling on the ground. And there's just a major scrum right in front of us. And coming up with is Molina. Molina battling through. Holy moly, that was tough. He was taking some shots. Oh,
Yeah, Molina's got a base on him. He's a thick gentleman.
he looks like he's built like a fullback. And now we've got another timeout called. So why don't we take one more break? And it is the Vashon Island Vultures 4, Liberty 2. This is the 1A, 2A Lacrosse State Championship here on STSPN.
disputes.
And welcome back here to Starfire Sports Stadium. And I'm Perry Williams along with Steve Sawyer. Steve, we were just on the break telling origins of lacrosse.
Yeah, so lacrosse is a Native American sport in the upper kind of Seven Nations Onondaga Nation area in upper New York. And this is a traditional sport that's played for their creator. And it's a very religious sport for the Native Americans. But it's also a sport that was played, or it was a game that was played to settle disputes. It was basically a war game.
All right, well, we've got a tough situation going on right now. Liberty down 2 goals. Look it off to Patton. Patton bring it up into the middle. It's getting checked by number 9. That's Nagel. Patton doing a little zig in his egg, getting a screen. Left-hand side. And there's a bounce shot. That one, I think that was Lapp that shot that. But goes out and it's going to be wide, so Liberty will get it, keep possession. We go right-hand side over to Hughes. Hughes bringing the ball back behind the goal. Bringing it up, putting it up across the crease. Nobody there. And coming up with it is going to be Patton. Patton to Molina, who puts in a rocketed shot, but right into the net, the stick of the goalkeeper, Mitchell Nye. That was a great save there that time by Nye. Long pass downfield, and the Patriots kick control of it for a second. Ball loose. Player going down. And it's going to be Vashon control. They quickly bringing it down. McClure brings it up top of the crease and gets checked just as he was shooting. So it's going to be Patriot ball. Patriots bring it down quickly. Bringing it down is Riley. Riley holds up. Going to give back over to Parsons.
So, Perry, this last part of the fourth quarter is going to be all about ball possession. It's going to be about controlling the ball and controlling possession.
There's Lapp, puts another shot up across and out of bounds. And it'll be Liberty possession again.
But Liberty really wants to get another goal here and get another goal quick so they can set themselves up for the equalizer.
And bringing it up and around is Russell.
See, right there, he's getting double or triple teamed. And when you get a triple team like that, that's when he needs to get his head up and he needs to look for the open man.
Parsons has it on the left-hand side. Does a little spin move, looking to find some help. Gets it over to Riley. Riley holds up, goes to Lapp, now on the right. Back to Riley. Riley coming into the center. Has the ball checked away. Good defense. Brown coming up with the defensive check. And, takes a couple of penalty hacks and big swing and a miss. And stolen away. That time by Hunter Jarvis. But Brown, who was that?
Brown just ducked a bunch of hits. And then all of a sudden he makes a pass and big Jarvis jumps in front of the pass.
4:07 left to go in this ball game. Liberty down by 2. Russell goes right-hand side. Back over to Likes to Molina to Lapp. Lapp looking to find some room. They've got some time, and they don't have a lot of time. Here comes, a nice shot just over the goal, and that was by Jaden Patton. So Patriots will continue to hold that possession. Molina, trying to pass it out into the top of the crease, but
goalie got a piece
there.
of that. Or not the goalie, but the defender got a piece of that pass.
Likes on the right-hand side, out to Patton. Patton. Get out. Brown. It might have been a zig and a zag too much here as the ball got loose, but luckily right to Patton.
I think Corrington juked himself on that one.
Here we coming down Hughes. Hughes looking to find some room, puts a bounce shot up, and again, the goalie might have got a hand on that or a stick on it. Mitchell Nye, he's having a pretty darn good game here for the Vultures.
Yeah, he has one of the highest save percentages in the league at 66%, so I'm not surprised.
And there's another shot that bounces off his stick and right to Brown. Brown bringing it down. And 2:49 left to go in this ball game. And the Vultures, they're going to be eating some clock here.
Yeah, with a 2-goal lead, they just want to settle it down.
Mozaleski has the stick taken out of his hands, but he managed to still keep possession. Now he gets checked hard. Mozaleski back to Brown. Brown going to hold up. Is he going to shoot? He tries to get it in, pass inside, trying to find McMillan. Ball rolling around on the ground. Patriots come up with it. And coming up with it is going to be Chance Hills. Hills long pass down, trying to find Parsons, but it's going to be taken away by the Vultures. 2 minutes left to go. And bringing it down is Rice. Rice puts up a shot. It's going to be wide, and it should be Liberty possession. So less than 2 minutes left to go in this ball game. There's a key possession. It is this one. They've got to bring it the length of the field and score quickly.
Yeah, Perry, Liberty needs a score real bad because they need to set themselves up for the equalizer. But they need to get this one in as quickly as they can.
They get it in the lap. Lap gets it over midfield. Lap putting on the Jets on the right-hand side. There's an opening for him. He slows up. He gets it over to Parsons. Parsons looking to do a little spin move. No shot blocker. His stick checked in. Ball got loose. Ball on the ground. Patton trying to come up with it. Now the ball goes to Molina. Molina has an opening, puts a shot up, and it's going to be high and wide. Minute 4 left to go in this ball game.
Perry, that was Molina's shot. He had it, and he just couldn't put it on cage.
And there is a shot that goes into the side of the net.
No, it's in.
It's in. It is in. Who got that one? Is that Parsons, I believe?
Just a dribbler.
Watch, see what happened in this. Yeah, it just dribbled right into the net. And that was number 22, Ryan Parsons.
Well, Perry, that's what they wanted. They needed to get that goal quickly. They got it. They got it in an unconventional way, but nonetheless they got it. And so now what they need is they need to secure this. So Patton needs to secure this face-off. They need to get down on offense, and it's time for them to get the equalizer.
Minute left to go. Minute 1 left to go in this ball game. They're going to face off. The clock will start as soon as the referee blows the whistle. Important face-off for the Liberty Patriots. Well, probably the most important of the season right here.
Exactly. Most important for both of them right now.
Referees set it up. Blew the whistle. And Patriots are going to control it. So they're going to have an opportunity. Coming down, number 21. Ball gets checked away. And the Vultures come up, and it's still on the ground. And coming up with it is Molina. Molina is going to get a foul.
Timeout.
And we're going to have a timeout. So with 44 seconds left to go in this ball game, it should be Patriot possession. Steve, you're the coach of the Patriots. What are you going to be looking for here?
So first off, great timeout by Ryan Kelly when Molina gets possession. So now he can set something up. This is where they take those plays that they've been saving that nobody's seen. They're just that one special play that they know every time they try it in practice, it works almost every single time. This is where you pull that out. There's nothing left to do. There's nothing left to leave on the field. This is the time that you need to do it and you need to score.
And if you're the coach of the Vultures, Vashon Island Vultures, what are you looking for them to do?
You're telling your guys to settle down. You're telling them to not jump the ball. You're telling them to play tight defense. They have a great defense. They get their sticks on the hands, but that's the biggest thing is you want their sticks up in the passing lanes. Every stick on every single hand of the offensive player of Liberty. You don't want anybody to get an easy pass.
We could be looking at overtime.
We could be.
You know, I was just hoping that I could call a little more lacrosse this afternoon.
Yeah, we haven't done barely any lacrosse this afternoon. We need some more.
As we go into the final 44 seconds of game number 3 for us today. Hope glad to have you with us. It's 4-3. Vashon up by a point in the 1A, 2A state championship.
You know, Perry, it doesn't get any better than this. Both of these teams, you know, Vashon hasn't been here since 2005. Liberty's never been here. They got to be fired up in these last 44 seconds.
All right. And so start this thing off is going to be Katie Hughes. Hughes goes from right to left. Clock ticking. 37 seconds. Hughes goes to the right. Pass it up. There's a shot. It goes wide, and it's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be Patriot possession. Here they come. They get off to Lap. Lap gets it on out, trying to get it to Parsons. And the Vultures come up with it. McClure comes up with a big ground ball. And we're going to have penalty. And that's
timeout.
Timeout.
So Vultures get possession on that one, and they call timeout real quick.
And
Coach Michael McMillan wants to set something up for the Vultures now. And now all the Vultures got to do is hold the ball for 18 seconds.
And that might be harder than it sounds sometimes.
Yeah, neither team has really easily possessed the ball this game. Very physical game. The ball spent a lot of time on the carpet. I wouldn't be surprised that you get a lot of pressure from Liberty, and you could see the ball change hands once again. But then again, we got 18 seconds left.
Well, win or lose, both these teams have played a pretty good game, and we got to say congratulations to them to get this far, to get to the state championship. 4-3 our score. Game 3 of 4 today. We've got O'Day and Seattle Prep playing in our final game starting at 7:30 this evening. Seconds from a state championship.
So Coach Michael McMillan is just telling them, guys, no stupid passes, control the ball, and you're going to be the champions.
But as a great baseball sage said one time, it ain't over till it's over. And there's a long pass, and the ball gets loose. 11 seconds, and picked up by Liberty. Ball running on the ground. And coming up with it is going to be Molina. 0 seconds, and that is going to do it. The Vashon Vultures win this one. They throw their sticks in the air. They are the 1A, 2A state champions. Congratulations, Vultures.
Harry, it goes down to the wire. I thought that they were just going to be able to hold the ball for 18 seconds, and they lose the ball. Gives the Liberty a chance to come back down and score, but they weren't able to put it on cage in time. Man, what an ending.
Well, just a really strange game how this went. Looked like Liberty was going to run away with it 2-0 in the first half. And you thought the way that looked at their offense was going, they were going to add more to it. But Vashon's defense tightened up 2-0 at the half. And then Vashon in the second half scored 4 unanswered goals. And Liberty answered, and they had their opportunities to tie it, but just unable to get over the mountain.
Yeah, it's definitely the story of two halves. You know, first half completely controlled by Liberty. Second half is completely controlled by Vashon. Liberty makes it really close in the end and almost puts in the equalizer to send it to overtime, but Vashon is able to hold on and take their first state championship since 2005.
Well, we have 2 of our 3 games have come down to 1 goal, and right down to the final seconds. And we've got one more to go. And O'Day takes on Seattle Prep in about an hour and a half, a little over an hour and a half from right now, or a little less than an hour and a half from right now. And we will have that game for you here on STSPN. So we're wrapping it up. We're going to wrap up this game. Again, Vashon Island wins the 1A, 2A state championship 4-3 over the Liberty Patriots. For Steve Sawyer, I'm Perry Williams. This has been Championship Lacrosse right here on STSPN.